Hi, this is Chris Schomburg, and I'm your instructor for SCADA and for PLCs. Now, what we've looked at so far is we've actually seen a tank that just overflows and overflows and overflows and overflows. We can call that sealed in logic, but we can also call it with PLCs that's just a high signal going to a tank or something like this. In this case, it's a tank that's going up. We could talk about a motor, a high signal going to a motor. Of course, that's not something we want to do. It's has out of control power, and you just keep going forever. Same with the tank. If you have a high signal going to the fill, it'll just keep filling, overflowing forever. So that wasn't good. So what we did is we actually went ahead and we made a new circuit, and we actually added a little bit of some logic in there to be able to have a branch that was parallel to our coil at the end, and we ended up having kind of a reversed coil and a normal coil. So what happened to do is when we press the button, when pressed, it would actually turn on, right? And that's actually what we found, is that when pressed, it would turn on. Now, this is the same program. We're using that same program. When pressed, we're going to turn on. Now, when I first looked at this, I was like, okay, so we just reversed the logic all the way with normally closed. And in this case, we're not going to do that. We're going to actually look at a code that in a case, this case, because it's a normally closed off or discharge, we're not going to need to use that same logic. So okay. So if we look at this, what we have is this first run is exactly what we had before. When pressed, it'll actually do that. And so what we had when this button was pressed, it actually turned on the valve, right? We didn't want it to continue to do that. So when we didn't press, it would actually short and go through here. You could call that a shunt. What that is this has actually too much resistance or infinite resistance, whatever you want to call that, or the resistance of error, depending on how technical you want to get. But basically it has infinite resistance, so it's going to always go this way. And in that case, we're not then filling our valve. So instead of filling our valve, we're shorting and not filling our valve. So that's essentially what you're doing when you have this normally closed position with the same value here, if you see that. Okay, now why didn't we do that for the discharge? Well, the discharge is normally closed, okay? So it's a normally closed valve. So what that means is that when we press it, we can actually just go directly to the discharge valve because it's normally closed. So when we press it, it actually then is going to go ahead and give us our discharge. So that's kind of the idea, is that we have both of those going on at the same time. We didn't need to actually put in extra logic for that. And that's, we can discuss that more if you want to talk more about that. But basically, we were able to do a much easier logic in the ladder logic for the discharge. And we had to do a little bit more challenging logic for our when pressed for the fill of our tank. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's see if we can get it to work. So I'm in Factory IO right now, and we can actually look and see if we get it to work. So right now, if I press, it's going to go ahead and go for as long as that I press it. Now, it does have a little lag, so that's kind of the challenge that I'll have for you guys do later on, is try to actually get to like 100 or something like that. And it's actually harder than you think, because there is a little bit of lag. Like I'm trying really close to get the meniscus, the very, very center here to 100, and I'm a little bit over. I'm at 105. Let's say I went a little bit further, and now I'm trying to discharge. So let's see if the discharge works. Yep, the discharge works pretty quickly.